Good morning. Good morning, and welcome. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the press, to Village Television, to the candidates, to board members, also the honored guests who are here in attendance at the Community Center boardroom, and those special guests who are watching from home. I am Cindy Whitney. I am a United Mutual resident and will be moderating this event, the 2024 Meet the United Mutual Board Candidates Forum. Now, candidates are running to fill 4 seats on the United Mutual Board of Directors with terms expiring at the 2027 annual election. We have 8 candidates, 7 of whom are here today, and I will have the pleasure to introduce them at this time. I will begin with Abbas Mohammadi, Charles Prater, Anthony Liberatore, Pardis Bromad, Jean Costello, Maggie Blackwell, and Marie Collins. Welcome all. At this time, I'm going to invite each candidate to make a 3-minute opening statement. The sequence and the candidates' seating, therefore their presentations, has been determined by a prior random draw of a neutral party. So we will begin with Mr. Mohammadi.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor. Oh, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have the opportunity to speak with you today. I was born in Iran in 1960, but I won't dwell on that because my real life was purposeful life began in October 1998 when my family and I emigrated to America. That's the day I consider my true birth, the beginning of a life filled with hope and opportunity. America and the kind and generous people within it gave me family and me hope, to extended your hand to us, taught us how to live, and helped us create a new life. My wife, children, and I embraced this opportunity and build a good life for ourselves. My younger son is a top engineer in SpaceX, and my older son is successful lawyer. First and foremost, I am proud to be an American citizen. Secondly, I owe this to the people of America, and I am committed to giving back as much as I can to repay this kindness. For many years, I've worked in the construction industry. Our family has owned a business where I have served as president. We've earned various certifications in this field. I previously held a general contractor license in Maryland and currently hold one in California. My experience spanned numerous large government projects, including work at the Federal Reserve Department of State, various courthouses in Washington, D.C., and many schools across Maryland and Virginia. Now the time has to come for me to use my experience to help advance this beautiful village.
30 seconds.
It's kind.
You still have time. 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, excuse me? Okay. Now the time has come for me to use my experience to help advance this beautiful village and its kind people. While I may not speak English fluently, what I do now is construction. Yeah. I want to be the eyes of the people of this village. I want to be the united board eyes in the projects.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammadi.
Thank you for.
Thank-
Thank you.
Mr. Prater, your opening statement, please, and I will prompt you at 30 seconds.
Sure, I'm so sorry.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charlie Prater, and I'm running for the United Mutual Board of Directors. During the past few months, I've had conversations with many of you. I've had time to listen to you, and it's time for us to be heard. It wasn't easy deciding to run for this directorship, but many have urged me to do so. They say we need some changes. They need to see the need for accountability, credibility, transparency is now urgent. Our concerns and suggestions about the efficiency maintaining our community needs to be heard. I was told to look at mini village regulations. I was told to look at the Blue Book, which is actually a book that says Complete Guide to Living in a Homeowners Association in California. Others have said it's important to use Robert's Rules of Conduct, and I think that is very important. However, I realized that what I wanted to know wasn't really found in books and regulations. So I started attending some meetings. I've been attending and watching board meetings, committee meetings, town halls, ad hoc meetings, finance meetings. The most important thing I did was something I've been doing my entire 10 years at Laguna Woods. Connecting with neighbors and building friendly relationships with my neighbors here in the village. Even when I walk my dog Muffin. I don't know how many of you have spoken with me by now, but over the years, I've heard everything from complaints to great stories, some gripes, but what I like hearing about the most are solutions to problems. So that many of you around the village have. These ideas and suggestions are inspiring. One of my goals is to make sure the people of United have an ear to hear them and a voice to speak for them. My active involvement in the community is not just a campaign strategy. It's not just it reflects who I really am and my commitment to our community's well-being. Laguna Woods is celebrating 60 years this year. With the right management team, we can ensure that the village continues to prosper for all of our community, and a platform running for this director position is straightforward.
30 seconds.
I'm committed to transparency, promises I can keep. Credibility of this village and its function entities needs to be closely examined. I will ensure that people do not have to wait weeks for answers and passed on from person to person to get information. Together, we can build a future full of hope and prosperity. Thank you, and stay tuned to hear my closing statement.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Liberatore.
Thank you. Good morning. And Laguna Woods Village is a great place to live. My wife and I looked at Seal Beach and we looked at this place. And when I saw Saddleback Hospital outside of Gate 2, this was the place I decided to stay. And my wife and I were people, it's not our nature to sit on the sidelines. When our kids were growing up, we were in Pop Warner, we ran a refreshment stand. And I was a terminal manager, operations manager, so it's just in my nature to get involved. And you know, if you're driving, I guess it's north on Moulton Parkway, and you make the light at El Toro Road, as you go up the hill there, on your right is the 19 at the light. On the left is this beautiful horticultural display that says Laguna Woods Village. Doesn't say Third, doesn't say United, doesn't say Towers, doesn't say GRF. It's Laguna Woods Village. And we have to learn to create some synergies where we can work together. Now, we had a little taste of that this year when we and United and Third got together to reduce our insurance premium. So that's my whole thing, to try to get us to create consensus and synergies to work together to carry Laguna Woods Village forward as a viable place and an attractive place for retirees to come to. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liberatore. Ms. Broman.
Oh. Is it on? Yes. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Paradis Brumand. As a seasoned professional with more than 25 years of experience in insurance, management, business procedures, and accounting, I am confident in my ability to serve as a valuable board member. I am passionate about problem solving and building community through calm and peaceful diplomacy. I have specialized training in senior citizen well-being and subsidized programs, allowing me to understand the unique needs of our senior community. When I first moved into my building in Laguna Woods, I immediately noticed that my new neighbors were somewhat unfamiliar with each other. I have brought my neighbors together, transforming our building into a supportive and caring community. As a natural leader, I thrive on a collaborative problem solving and have been encouraged by my neighbors to run for the director. I am committed to leveraging my skills to benefit our community, particularly in addressing the high cost of insurance. My goal is to foster a collaborative relationship between board members and residents, ensuring concerns are heard and addressed. I believe my extensive insurance background and community-focused approach make me an ideal candidate for the board. I am excited to bring my skills and passion to the table to make a positive impact in our community. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bromad.
You're welcome.
Ms. Costello.
Thank you. My name is Jean Costello, and I am excited to announce my candidacy for the Board of Directors of United Mutual. Having been a proud resident of our community with my husband for the past 5 years, I am deeply committed to ensuring Laguna Woods Village remains a wonderful place to live. Professionally, I have 40 years' experience in managing procurement and manufacturing for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, including 10 years of project management. This has equipped me with the skills necessary to create and manage large budgets, lead projects, negotiate, create RFQs and bids, and review them, and communicate effectively with diverse groups of people. Personally, I have been actively involved in our Laguna Woods community through my involvement in the Laguna Woods Village Pickleball Club and various other clubs, sports, and volunteer opportunities. So here are my visions and goals for my term. Number one, as stated previously, let's enhance communication. We continue to foster a transparent and open line of communication between the board, GRF, VMS, and our residents. I will ensure that everyone's voice is heard and valued. Number two, maintain and improve community facilities. We need to advocate for the upkeep and enhancement of our residences and community amenities to meet the needs of all of our residents. Number three, fiscal responsibility. But that needs to be played against ensuring that the community's finances are managed responsibly, balancing necessary expenditures with the need to keep costs associated and our HOA fees reasonable. We as an HOA board need to confirm financial transparency and total access on facility and amenity expenditures from our VMS and GRF partners by creating fair and transparent RFQ and multiple bid processes for significant financial expenditures. This partnership will help dispel the feeling of secrecy and closed-door dealings that permeates our community today. And last but not least, safety and security. We need to promote responsible initiatives that enhance the safety and security of our neighborhoods and residents, like a system-generated automatic resident review or confirmation of permanent gate accesses on a yearly basis. Our residents' living situations change.
30 seconds.
And having a construction or handyman that you haven't used for 2 years, continuing to have ongoing access to our community isn't safe or secure for anyone. So here's my commitment to you. I believe in teamwork. I believe in active listening. I believe in transparent decision-making and creating a call to action. I will work collaboratively, easy for me to say, with board members, GRF, VMS, and the residents to address concerns in a timely manner. And I will monitor and balance both HOA and GRF expenditures carefully to provide maximum return on investment for you, our residents and stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Costello. Ms. Blackwell.
Thank you. I'm Maggie Blackwell. I am a United Director currently, and I'd like to remain a United Director. I came here for the golf. A friend of mine told me, come when you retire, and I did. I've been in the village for 20 years. I've been mixed up with the board since 2015. In 2015, we did a survey of boards, of HOAs around the Southern California area. We did 10 of those. And I found that last year again, and I gave it to staff, and they looked for it, and they repeated it, and found that we are even in better shape now than the others are, and we're very well respected. We turned out to be, 3 years ago, one of the 5 best in Southern California senior developments. Then 2 years ago, we were voted one of the 10 best in the USA. Our problems are universal. Everybody has an insurance problem. Everybody has weather problems. We're turning into a desert half of the year and a rain muck the rest of the year. So everything is changing throughout, and we all have the same problems. We need to work together with our boards and with our experts in order to get to some solutions. I was a criminal defense attorney for 4 years, then an alternate public defender for LA County 10 years. I was a United Director 3 years, GRF Director 1 year, then a United Director 3 more years. I've been secretary or chairs of governing documents 4 times. I've been 3 years chairs of the Breeze and Communications. Communications is one of my fortes. I receive emails and questions from people all the time. They ask, where is this? What is that? I look it up for them. I send them the document so they know that I'm not making it up. I don't send them a decision. I send them the document. I think it is really important that all members try to communicate when they have a
30
question.
seconds.
So I believe all directors should support their boards, their corporations, and their members. Every decision needs to be thoughtfully discussed, both sides, all sides, over the fence, under the fence. Everything needs to be discussed before we make a decision. I get nervous when we make a decision too quickly. I prefer to have all facts exposed. I'm running again. I'd love to be on UNITA. I've got 3 more years in me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Ms. Collins.
I can't see you. Hi, my name is Marie Collins. Can you hear me all right? Okay. My name is Marie Collins, and I love living in Laguna Woods. Living in this, it's really a dedicated urban forest, you know. We have about 39,000 trees from all over the world. And what I learned recently is that that is a $70 million asset of our corporation. One of my aspirations is to try to make all of the residents understand that they really are shareholders of a really magnificent corporation. I would be absolutely honored to serve on the board with any of these candidates or the ones who are already on there, because I want to tell you, you need to be grateful to these people. They are donating what would be in the corporate world a $350,000 a year job. This is a big job, okay? But as Maggie said, this is a wonderful, I love living here. So I want to help do that. Now, the truth is, if I don't get elected, I'll be volunteering and being advisory, because this is all about the shareholders. If I do get elected, every time I make a vote, the last two questions I will ask myself is, number one, have I overlooked any unintended negative effects of this particular vote on things we hadn't talked about? And then the last question will be, always, is this in the best interest of the shareholders as a group? I promise you I will always do that. So when I started preparing this, I realized if I tried to tell you about my knowledge, I really have a broad array of experiences that I want to bring here. But the truth is, there are just two I want to concentrate on. So if you are interested in more in depth about my background, you can look me up in the Who's Who of America from last year, and or the article that was in LA Entrepreneur last year. I think one of my friends has some copies of those. But my best help is going to be from being a
30
active
seconds.
member in a turnaround company that was out of Newport Beach for 6 years. We bought failing companies. We went in and examined what's working, what's not working, where can we save money, where we spend money. We made them profitable and sold them, okay? And the other thing was, as co-chair of the Unsecured Creditors Committee in the largest bankruptcy that's ever been in LA back in '91, I had to examine all of the assets of this big company, and we took a $10 million valued company to a $330 million company in 5 years. And I see I'm out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. I also want to mention that Alan Dickinson is also a candidate, but he was unable to be at this forum today. So at this time, I would like to take a moment to explain the protocol for today so there will be an understanding of the process we are using. Prepared questions will be asked by the moderator, and each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. We will rotate which candidate answers first each time a question is asked. The moderator will continue to proceed from left to right. Prepared questions will be directed to all candidates, and they will have a 2-minute opportunity, not an obligation, to answer each question, time permitting. Please keep in mind that candidates will kindly only speak when it is their turn, not ask questions of or address others on the panel, nor refute or disparage the remarks given by another candidate. This is not a debate. The Granicus timer will show the candidates the amount of time they have remaining and when their time is up. If a candidate goes over their time, the moderator will thank them and move on to the next candidate. Thank you in advance for monitoring your time. So we're going to begin with the questions, and we're going to start with Mr. Prater at this time. You will all be asked the same question. And the first question is, what is your understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
The responsibility of a director. One of the main things of a director is to make sure that they listen to the people they are representing. In this United environment, we have a lot of questions, we have a lot of answers that we're hearing, but the clarity in representing these questions, making the right decision is really important. Working with the other directors, working with the experts that we hired to give us these suggestions, working with the staff around here is very important. And as director, I think that's one of the main things we have to do. We have to listen, and we have to make decisions that are for the village and for the people. I said earlier, we've been here for 60 years. I really feel that this village can keep going further with the right directors and the right decisions that we will be making. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. The same question to you, Mr. Liberatore. What is
Thank
your
you.
understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
Thank you very much for that question, and this is one that I really like to answer. And the word I use is fiduciary. A director is a fiduciary. What is a fiduciary? A fiduciary is somebody who puts their agenda and personal feelings aside to serve those of other people. And so all the other platitudes that we use, credibility, understanding, honesty, that's all covered in the concept of fiduciary. And a fiduciary, to do a job, has to be an excellent listener. Have to listen with your eyes as well as your ears. And carry out the wishes and desires legally, financially, and authoritatively for your constituents. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liberatore. Same question to you, Ms. Bromad. What is your understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
Yeah, I think as a first we have to be a good resident here. Then think about how become a good director. The most important thing that we make we make conversation with other residents, and also listen to them very well, and make sure that you understand their problems, their issues, and be their voice and bring them over here so we can discuss about it and solve this problem or problems if they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bromad. Same question to you, Ms. Costello. What is your understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
What they just said. There's also another word that Pardis is that struck me when she was speaking, and that's servant leadership. When I was in my career previously, I believed in leading from behind. I believed in being a facilitator and someone who removed roadblocks from getting things through. And that's what I believe a director does based upon my experience and watching what's going on here. We're leaders, but we're also servants for all of you, for your needs, and figuring out how to work creatively with this three-pronged approach that we have created here in our village. And it's a partnership. No one leads, no one follows. We're only as strong as our weakest link. We all need to work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Costello. Same question to you, Ms. Blackwell. What is your understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
We have to work within our regulations and processes. We have to gather all the information we can. We have to look at every side of every issue. We must decide what is best for the corporation, because if United fails, we all lose. We have to decide what is best for all of our members, not just some. We have to work within our processes to consider all these things and to discuss with each other to get a full view. And then we have to vote what we have decided, whether it's our favor or not, our original idea or not. Maybe my original idea is now on the shelf because I've heard better information. We have to be flexible and willing to listen and learn. and we must stand by our members and stand by our corporation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Same question to you, Ms. Collins. What is your understanding of the responsibility of a director?
The short answer is to do what is in the best interest of the shareholders. The more elaborate answer is to educate yourself, number one, about the processes, to educate yourself about the different parts of the problem that you may be considering. The way I approach a problem, in fact, I think problems are just opportunities. Life is full of problems. Everybody has problems. Our community has problems. But we have so many positive things that it's certainly worth finding the proper answers. So what I do is I analyze things, okay, and I put them together and I compare. Am I overlooking any unintended consequence? This happens so many times. When I look at a problem, I first am result oriented. I want, what is the result? What do we really want to do here? What's the real question? And then I want to know, what is the purpose of it? And if they pass the first two questions, if it's really important, okay, then I want to come up with maybe 50 possible actions that one could take to look into it to see what could be done. I'm sorry, but I don't accept, okay, this is the only way to do it. I have to look into that myself.
30
and I will
seconds.
do that. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Collins. Over to you, Mr. Mohammadi. Same question. What is your understanding of the responsibilities of a director?
Thank you for asking this question. I have years, I'm going to tell you like this. I have years of experience negotiations, contracts, overseeing projects and managing budgets. I understand what is reasonable and I can spot when vendors try to take advantage, okay? My expertise in the industry allows me to ensure that our resources are used wisely and that we get the best value for our community. This is my answer.
Thank you very much. We're going to go to another question. We're going to start with Mr. Liberatore this time. Mr. Liberatore, have you read or are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of the United Laguna Woods Mutual?
Thank you for that question. Yes, I am. I started here and moved here in 2012, got on the board in 2013. I was the first chair on BMS and back to United. So I'm pretty well versed in the bylaws and the occupancy agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liberatore. Same question to you, Ms. Bromad. Have you read or are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of United Laguna Woods Mutual?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I have lived in Laguna Woods for about 18 years, and I have read and I'm familiar with all those, maybe not too much details, but yeah, I already have studied that.
Thank you. Is that your answer?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Same question to you, Ms. Costello. Have you read and are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of the United Laguna Woods Mutual?
When we moved in 5 years ago, I did peruse the occupancy agreement and the bylaws, looking specifically for things that would apply or that I thought would apply to our living situation where we are now between gate 5 and 6. So in answer to your question, the short answer is yes. If I was tested on it, probably not. But I do know where I can find it, which is probably the most important thing, is if we have questions, we also know where we can find those answers as well.
Thank you very much. Same question to you, Ms. Blackwell. Have you read and are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of United Laguna Woods Mutual?
Yes, and the occupancy agreement can be found in your documents, your escrow documents. So every one of you has had it, and your hands have passed it, but maybe it didn't get into here because it's pretty oblique. But yes, I know it, and as governing documents chair for 4 years, I know it. I'm talking about it all the time, and it's important. The bylaws are very important. We review them every year, all the time. We're checking whether we should change this, do this. Does it have to go before the members for a vote, or can the board simply decide it? There are so many facets to our bylaws, and they're so similar to thirds, but they're not similar to thirds. They're so similar to GRF, but they're not really. Each set of bylaws is unique, and it's ours, and it's been ours for 60 years. We need to follow that, and we need to follow all of our documents every time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Ms. Collins, over to you. Have you read and are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and the bylaws of the United Laguna Woods Mutual?
I have printed them. I have read them. I have not studied them as diligently as I will have before it is necessary for me to put that in operation. I find that they are very consuming, and I get to a place and I say, what does that mean? And then I have to go look it up, and I will do that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Collins. Mr. Mohammadi, same question to you. Have you read or are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of United Laguna Woods Mutual?
Yeah, I live in this beautiful village since 2017. To be honest, I know something, but I don't know details. But if necessary, I'm going to study. This is my answer.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prater, same question over to you. Have you read and are you familiar with the occupancy agreement and bylaws of United Laguna Woods Mutual?
Well, when I moved in 10 years ago, when I moved in here, I did receive a copy of them, and I'm sure that I did go through them. But over the years, from time to time, whenever I'd update my Laguna Woods file, I would take it out and just browse through it as something that, if there was something I really needed to understand. Do I know them by heart? Absolutely not. If we were to read them here, you would fall asleep. So it's something you don't really want to preach knowing every regulation, but the bylaws need to be followed, that's for sure. So do I know of them? Yes. Can I research them? Yes. And when the time comes, we will all need them at one time or another. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Due to your very succinct responses, I want to check and make sure if we have time for another question. Do we? Okay. All right. All right. So we will begin this question. Let's see. Who did we start with? Miss Bromad, I believe. Yes. So, Miss Bromad, what is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
I know VMS is the top of the story. They manage everything, and they have a good relationship with each other. So I never went through the details of that to make sure that you know exactly what's the difference, but I'm learning, and I think I can study that more and more every day and educate myself better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Same question to you, Ms. Costello. What is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
We are in a trust with GRF. We are the trustee, they are the we are the trustor, they are the trustee. VMS is the arm that facilitates the facilities and the amenities and keeps them in proper working order. They work on the landscaping, they do all of the things that we need to have done. So basically, they are the corporation that manages the day-to-day operations of our village.
Very good. Thank you very much. Ms. Blackwell, same question to you. What is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
Okay, VMS is Village Management Services. They are our service organization. The board is the director of what we do. We ask them to make 4 landscape rotations a year. They make 4 a year. We ask them and pay them to do 6, then we get 6 a year. We ask them to do painting more frequently. They do that. They are our service organization, and we give them the instruction, then they bill us for it, and we negotiate. So they're always advising us as to what steps are involved and what costs they are, and then we decide what level of service that we want to order from them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Same question over to you, Ms. Collins, and that is, what is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
I see VMS as our hired professionals that we, this board is elected, okay? The other 2 boards are elected. We represent the people. We represent the shareholders. We have to have help. We can't go out and do everything. So that's how VMS, I believe, came into being a few years ago when we changed and decided to be, quote, self-governing. Not quite sure about that, but I am sure that VMS is supposed to be our staff of professionals that we depend upon to get done what the board decides needs doing.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mohammadi, over to you. What is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
VMS, Village Management Services, and board is like supervisor or director of that. This is my understanding. Relationship between these 2. That's my question. That's my answer.
Thank you very much for your response. Mr. Prater, same question to you. What is your understanding of the relationship of the United Laguna Woods Mutual Board and Village Management Services, or VMS?
I've heard a lot here. That's good information. And most everybody here. It's on. Now it's on. Oh, okay. Everybody here had some really good answers, and VMS is a service organization that runs our services that we need. Most of the people in this building, if not all of them, are employees of VMS. We give VMS guidance. We give VMS ideas. They come back with a solution that we hope is beneficial to the whole community. We tried many years ago to self-manage, and we learned a big lesson. A management services facility is definitely needed to run the village. So I do understand their role and ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Liberatore, over to you. What is your understanding?
Thank you, and forgive me, but my whole idea is that United is one of the big dogs on the block. That's the way I look at it. And we send 3 representatives from United to VMS, and those boards of directors there are to make sure that our staff is carrying on the work that's needed to keep us vibrant and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liberatore. Okay. We're going to move along to audience questions, and the audience questions will also be submitted by the audience members in the room. I'm going to address these comments to this group. Audience questions must be written legibly and provided on the cards, one question per card, and please make no questions directed to, I have some already, thank you. No questions directed to a specific individual. Cards are going to be sorted and screened by the corporate secretaries to eliminate illegible duplicate questions, and the moderator will read the questions. Each question will then have 2 minutes. Each candidate, will have 2 minutes to respond, time permitting. Now, I may not editorialize as I read these questions. However, those called upon who wish to reword their question may do so without changing the meaning of the question. In other words, I can't reword the question, but as you answer the question, you can reword it if you feel that makes an effective response. Candidates may not ask questions of other candidates or refute the statements made by other candidates, and the corporate secretaries, Paul and Emilian, are a big help today, and I thank you very much. Okay, so now here is our first audience question, and we are going to start with Emilian, who we... Oh, that's right. All right, Ms. Costello. This question is, what is the relationship between GRF and the other boards? Third, United, Mutual, 50.
As I just said, the relationship between GRF and the HOAs is a trustee-trustor relationship.
Is that your response? Okay. All right. So then we're going to go to Ms. Blackwell. Same question. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards? Third, United, Mutual, 50.
As Tony explained, we do select 3 board members or 4 on GRF. So GRF is formed from all the mutuals, and it serves all the amenities. They are the trustee. They were the first, original, and only corporation to begin with. They were the trustee. They were given all this land to divide up. And then the housing mutuals were created, and the housing mutuals now do what the housing mutuals must do to protect their property and their residents. And GRF is responsible for the roads, for the clubhouses, and all the amenities that we have, and all the property that is still left for GRF. They control all of that. We can give them suggestions and argue with them and whatever, but it's their decision to do all the amenities themselves. And then if we vote somebody out, we vote somebody out. If we don't, we don't. The people become GRF persons once they are elected to GRF. They put on the best for GRF hat, just like a person who moves from Third to United puts on then the best for United hat. You may have the experience back in your mind, but you have to do
30
what
seconds.
is for that corporation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Over to you, Ms. Collins. Same question. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards, Third, United, and Mutual, 50?
Well, GRF was created to be the trustee of the trust back when this place was set up. And the beneficiaries of that trust are the shareholders of the United, Third, and the towers. Their specific everyday purpose is to look after the amenities, as Maggie said, and I just learned when I started running for this how they actually were elected by the boards. The 3 mutual boards put up 3 members each, I believe it is, and that's where the board comes from for the GRF. And it's kind of an overall thing in that way, but the tail does not wag the dog, is the way I see it. And GRF has its responsibilities, and they are the trustee responsible to the trustors.
Thank you very much, Ms. Collins. Over to you, Mr. Mohammadi. Same question. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards, Third, United, and Mutual 50?
Yeah, I think GRF is responsible and trusted between United and Mutual and Towers. That's my answer.
Thank you very much. Mr. Prater, the same question to you. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards, Third, United, and Mutual 50?
All righty. We have definitely said here that the trustee, and that's what it is, the Golden Rain Foundation is the trustee. We give them the okay to take care of things. They oversee the buildings. They oversee a lot of things outside of the United pocket, our little group here. They do the work around us. We need to make sure that when given the rights to do this, that it's done in a way that benefits the whole package, not just me, you, but the whole package. It's a big responsibility. There needs to be a little bit of what they call credibility. You'll hear this a lot. And right now, I think that the foundation is trying to do their best. And the decisions that our board makes does reflect decisions that GRF makes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Liberatore, the same question. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards, Third,
Thank you.
United, and Mutual 50?
Thank you for that question. Trying not to be redundant, but I agree with what's been said before. But also, remember the GRF trust was started by the people the banks who gave Cortese the money to start this place. They wanted to make sure he didn't fold his tent in the middle of the night and take off. So he had to make sure he finished all the amenities. And then after we just renewed that GRF, the trust, a few years ago to bring us on. And GRF now serves the rest of the communities, United, Third, and to a certain extent Towers, to keep the amenities going and to keep this an attractive place. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Liberatore. Ms. Bromond, over to you. Same question. What is the relationship between GRF and the other boards, Third, United, and Mutual 50?
GRF is a nonprofit company, and it just covers almost everything here in the village. We tell them what we need, we guide them, and they are the final decision maker. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I believe we have another question. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Okay. We will begin with Ms. Costello. Oh, Maggie, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Ms. Blackwell. What are your thoughts on, okay. Oh, what are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass? Is there a, what, okay. What are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
I'm worried about it, okay? I'm worried about it. It is not distinct. The state has not made it clear. So they say they're trying to get rid of, we do not have recycled water in United. Therefore, we cannot use our water to water our grass, is the theory. And if it's not being used directly by the residents, it's kind of the figure, then we should pull it out and not use potable water. Well, United has zero access to recycled water because of the Great Divide by El Toro. And so nobody can supply us with non-potable water except what we got this winter and this summer. If this only came every Tuesday and Thursday night, we would be perfect throughout the year. We'd have no issue. But we do have areas, because we're a wandering village, we do have areas that have nice grassy knolls and grass walks, and we would enjoy walking along them and so on. The idea is if it is not directly used by the members, then we should take it out and put in drought-resistant plants. We already have a program for that, but this would double, triple, quadruple, multiple our plans. So we need a distinct definition of what they mean. They need to know that it is absolutely impossible for us to get recycled water over here. And so we have to do what we can and maybe decide that this will be used for a park or this. The trouble is with the mowers, if we put benches everywhere, how are the mowers going to mow? So this is it's all a terrible, frightening thing.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Ms. Collins, over to you. The same question. What are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
Is that the same question?
It is the same question, yes.
Well, when I became aware that the Assembly in California had passed this, they call it AB, Assembly Bill 1572, what I was hearing was it meant we must tear out, let's see what they call it, we must tear out things that require watering if we can only water them with potable water. That makes sense. One of the things we have to do all over the country, but especially out here where we lead the country, is to conserve our potable, which is drinking water. Okay, so I thought about what has the state of California done to comply with this? We are going to be required to comply with this, and our board has I think they're very astute in trying to figure out the right thing to do by January 1, 2029, because if we don't, it is possible we could be fined $500 a day and other things. But there's a question about functional grass, functional turf, and non-functional turf. I went to the water board, and the first thing I learned from the El Toro Water Board, and the first thing I learned was that the United, has some leeway in determining what is functional, what is non-functional. I went to the office of Lara Fairfield. She is the assemblywoman who sponsored this bill. I wanted to know not only the term of the bill, not the words of the bill, but the intent. Because knowing California,
30
I
seconds.
did not believe they wanted us to make this look like a nice little over 55 place in Phoenix. Okay, so I have determined that the intent of the bill, because she said in some of her other writings that this is not to be applied where it affects the health of the trees. Well, look at our trees. Look at our valuable trees. How does this all work? How do the trees and the grass interact to give us our oxygen? So I'm wanting to really look into this, and I will go deep to find it.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Mr. Mohammadi, over to you. What are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
Definitely, I agree with Miss Maggie Blackwell. She answered completely this is my answer. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammadi. Mr. Prater, what are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
We have already started replacing grass, in case you haven't noticed. I've seen a lot of it because I do a lot of walking. I know that the boards, all the boards here, all the community, will do their best to comply with the state. Marie brought up some very good ideas and some facts that's going to happen. So when time comes, okay, when the state does their responsible part for the water distribution, we will definitely step up, do the guidelines, get education about it, and apply the rules that are required by our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Liberatore, what are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
Thank you very much. I'm going to get in trouble on this one. I think our annual rainfall is somewhat, 11 inches or 14 inches a year. So grass is not native. Neither are these beautiful trees. But we want our trees, we want our grass. And I think, talking to our legal person for United, that there's still some debate about the terms of this 1572. So it's not a done deal yet. And we're also, in my cul-de-sac now, we just ripped up all the grass, I don't know how much that costs, and replaced it with succulents and watercress. So I think it's not a done deal yet, but and I've always struggled with moving here to California from the East Coast, where we only get 11 to 14 inches of water a year, but we love our grass, which comes from the Sierra Mountains. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liberatore. Ms. Broman, same question. What are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
I think I have to look more into this deeply, because I don't have a great answer for you at this moment. But I know we love our grass, we love our trees here, give us oxygen. Those are beautiful when you walk, especially I live in my house viewing Serpentine Walk in Cayaragon, and I really love to keep them the way they are, and I enjoy my company. They come to my house and they enjoy all the greens that we have. They are valuable trees, and we have to take care of them very well. But I'm willing to look more into that and study more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bromond.
You're welcome.
Ms. Costello, over to you. What are your thoughts on grass elimination on non-functional grass?
Well, my first comment is nothing is constant but change. All right? We love our grass. We love green. Whether you agree with the idea of climate change or not, things are certainly changing and rainfall is certainly diminishing. So in order to keep our community looking beautiful, and I'm not going to say the way it was, because it won't be. It will look different. But there are beautiful other ways, other plants to use to create a different but beautiful environment, right? So keep the grass where it's necessary, but nothing is constant but change, and we have to be good stewards of the earth as well.
This question? Thank you very much, Ms. Costello. We have time for one more question. And this one, we don't necessarily need to go in order, I'm told. So we can do a random first question. The question is, are village clubs limited to 20% membership from people outside the village? If so, how is this monitored? And I will start with... No? Did I misread the question?
If you have another question, that is very specific, and people wouldn't necessarily know. Plus, it's a GLF question.
This one is, you're suggesting we don't ask this question?
Correct.
Okay.
Find another question
Well,
of a more general nature.
Okay, all right.
If you would,
No,
please. My recommendation.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know what? Then it's time for closing statements, people. And we started left to right when we did opening statements. There's a 2-minute closing statement, and we're going to start with Marie Collins, and we're going to work right to left. So would you be kind enough to give us your 2-minute closing statement? And we're just going to move this way.
I'm sorry.
Can you, this is time to give your closing statement. It's a 2-minute statement, your closing statement of the
My closing
forum today, yes.
Hi. Okay. Well, let's see, what did I not tell you before? What I didn't tell you before is about the quote that I recently ran across, which said, you want to be too busy living your fantastic life to have time for hate, fear, or griping. That's me. That really is me. I get up every morning wondering what wonderful, fantastic things are going to happen. There's so many, I have to prioritize what to do, especially living here, okay? I would love for all of our citizens to feel that way. I hear a lot of people around me saying, they don't let you do this, they don't let you do that. Well, I've examined the they, and it is us, okay? What they are. I mean, they are we. So whatever is happening or not happening, they have input. They are shareholders. They need to be listened to. Okay, that's one thing I forgot to tell you. Let's see, what else did I tell you? I wanted to tell you I guess I can tell you a little bit about what I'm still doing, okay? Because that quote says, I want to be busy doing, I am busy, okay? I am still busy. I am 84, was 84 last week.
30
I am
seconds, and
writing a book
congratulations.
called It's Never Too Late.
30 seconds.
I have 30 seconds. I'm writing a book called It's Never Too Late. I am the ambassador for Hydroponics Nepal, hoping to get 1,000 women in Nepal to have their own little hydroponic gardens. And I am helping with the Statue of Responsibility, which I hope you will all become familiar with. And that's what occupies my time, other than taking care of my dog and jumping into this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ms. Blackwell, your closing statement, please.
Okay, thank you. I trust every one of you will read your ballot carefully. I trust that you will read the entries in the Globe, okay? And I will be sending out a flyer to you next week. Don't be offended. It's just a flyer. If you don't like it, delete it. If you want to pass it out to your friends, go ahead. They will get it too. So don't be upset. It's just a flyer. But together, we will lead United to a brighter future. We will review our operations to keep United fees as low as possible. We will think outside the box to develop programs to reduce costs. We want to enhance the value of our manors by ensuring appropriate repairs and maintenance of infrastructure. We will work with other boards and VMS management to provide residents a safe, affordable environment. I will carefully consider all aspects of any issue before deciding on the best solutions for the benefit of United members. I won't let you down.
Thank you, Ms. Blackwell. Ms. Costello, over to you for your 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you. I'm of the opinion that life here in Laguna Woods Village is great, and it can only get better. And I'm not alone. 85% of the respondents to a recent United HOA survey agree with that statement. They responded that they are either satisfied or very satisfied with living here. So you guys have all been doing a great job. However, we have internal challenges and external changes that come with living in our 60-year-old community. some of which were discussed earlier. We need leaders with both a common sense approach and creative problem solving in dealing with them. As a director, I view my role as such. Ross Cortiz's vision made Laguna Woods an accessible, state-of-the-art, active retirement option for residents back in the 1960s. Now, the world may have changed in 60 years, but his direction and charge to us has not. Keep Laguna Woods Village pushing ahead and relevant to the next generation of people looking for that same active retirement community that we have found such great value in. So today, I humbly ask for your support in this endeavor, and I thank you for your vote.
Thank you, Ms. Costello. Over to you, Ms. Bromond, your 2-minute closing statement, please.
Thank you. I understand that being a director of the board is not only about skill set, talent, and or credentials, but about character, heart, and a passion to serve others. I have attended several GRF meetings, and as I believe that the work of the United and the GRF boards serve best when cohesive community. I assure you that I'm sorry, I think I am a little bit, yeah.
Take your time.
Sure. Yeah, I think I have. Can I pass to someone else and I go back to me?
Perhaps if you said something from your heart.
Okay. But anyway, I have all this from my heart, but I just couldn't finish it well. I believe that alert leadership, empathy, and dedication help to foster our flowering as a harmonious and cohesive community. I assure you that my email address and my phone numbers will be available from the first day if I am elected to the privilege of serving our mutual. I strongly believe my background, talent, and credentials, but about the character, heart, and a passion to serve others. I wanted to tell you guys something that, when I moved here in this country.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then I will continue with the rest of it. I was going to do it from my. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bromond.
We do better when we all do better. Thank you for your vote.
Thank you very much. Well done.
You are. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Mr. Liberatore, over to you. Your 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you. I don't like innuendo, hearsay. It's negative. It's not conducive to a positive growth. And the big thing for me as a director in the past, and what I look forward future if I'm reelected, is the word fiduciary. I've said this before. The fiduciary encompasses all the platitudes, credibility, and all of that. The fiduciary, because a fiduciary puts his or her own agendas and feelings aside to serve those of others. And I hope, as a dream of mine that I haven't been able to fulfill yet, I used to use the word consensus. Now I like to use the word synergies. You have Third, you have United, you have GRF. If we can find a way to get those entities to work together in synergy, we can bring Laguna Woods into the future as a positive and very attractive place for retirees to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Liberatore. Mr. Prater, same to you.
Thank you for all of you for listening. We're almost done. First, I'm going to read a couple of things I said during my opening statement, and I think it's important. The need for accountability, credibility, and transparency is an urgent view we all have to take. Our concerns and suggestions about efficiency maintaining our community in this needs to be heard. I am running as a spokesperson for those concerns and suggestions, and I urge you to consider this when casting your vote. My active commitment to this is not going to keep me from keep going if I am not elected. It's not a campaign strategy. It's who I am and my commitment to our community's well-being. We've been listening to 8 very hopeful, well, 7 today, very hopeful candidates here. And they talked about many of our village needs. You, or I should say, we, will choose 4 of us to share many of the same ideas. You will be making these choices for us. And I hope you will consider me, Charlie Prater, one of those positions of the board of directors. Again, thanks for listening. I want to say something here as almost a closing statement. If you want change in the direction of the village, you must make a decision in the change and the direction of the directors. Thank you, and I need to thank my wife Laura for supporting me during this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Mohammadi, your 2-minute closing statement, please.
I want to talk to you bottom of my heart. Our planet population is 8 billion people. We live in best country in the world. And we live best state in America. And we are very lucky that we live in best of the part of the state. In Laguna Woods, in my mind, is like heaven. I love people who lives here. They have more experience. They share experience. You know, every day I go to a wood shop. You know, they share their experience to each other. I love it. I was in painting, ceramic class. I am artist. And I am singer too, but Persian singer. Unfortunately not English. I try, but my voice is not. You know, we should, all together, we should try to improve.
30 seconds.
Improve Laguna Woods the best. Because we are the best. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Well, we are at the closing time, and I want to thank everyone here and everyone at home for their interest in the governance of our community. I want to thank Emilian, and I want to thank Paul, and I want to thank Michaela, who is upstairs, for all their help in putting this all together. And I also want to thank the candidates today for your service and your dedication to representing the needs of every one of us who is proud to call Laguna Woods Village our home. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.